G'day team. Today I would like to talk about the gross profit margin or GPM. GPM is driven from gross profits. As per our last video, the gross profit is the most important financial key performance indicator. Please watch our previous video if you haven't done that already. GPM is calculated by dividing the gross profit by the sales figure. Remember, we established in our previous video that the gross profit is the essence or the value created in any given job. So by dividing the essence of the job by the sales price, then we will get the essence percentage or the value percentage in relation to the sales price. Sales represents the volume and GPM represents the value or essence in the volume of sales. Bear with me, I'll explain why we should care about GPM. Let's go back to the example of our previous video. If you are a plumbing firm and you have charged your customer $350 to change a broken pipe, let's say that the material cost were $50 and your plumber's wage cost was $100. Then your gross profit is your sales minus expenses on the job. So it is $350 minus 50 minus 100 equals $200. The GPM in this example is the gross profit of $200 that we established divided by the sales price of $350. That equals 57%. So the percentage of essence in this job in relation to the dollar amount we received from this customer is 57%. So in this case, the essence or value created is 57% of the volume. Let's calculate the GPM for another example. Let's say that you are the same plumbing firm and again you have charged your customer $350, but your costs were much higher this time due to inefficient planning. Also, you had to go backwards and forwards to the merchant few times and you had to redo the job due to workmanship issue. Let's say your costs were $300 this time. So your gross profit in this case is only $50. Let's calculate the GPM for this example. It's $50 divided by the sales price of $350. So your GPM is only 14% in this case. So you can see that your essence percentage or GPM in this first example was close to 60% of the sales price, while it was only close to 15% in the second example. Can you see the difference? It's huge. While on the surface, both jobs look the same and you have received the same amount of money from the customers. It is easy to follow your daily and monthly progress using GPM rather than GP because the percentages are simple and much easier to remember comparing to the wide range of dollar figures associated with gross profits. Let me explain the GPM further. Let's say that you made $100 of sales in one of your jobs, while you made $500 on another job. Which job was better, the first one or the second one? At first glance, we all agree that the second job seems to be better. But if we dive further, we might find further important aspects. Let's say that the first job was, with the $400 sales, took only 2 hours to complete with no materials cost, while the second job was complicated and took 2.5 days to complete. Now with that in mind, which job gave you the best value? Obviously now it was the first job. Hence it's so important to gauge your jobs and overall business profitability by doing simple math of calculating the gross profit margin. Basically, gauging profitability by looking at sales prices only is superficial. So smart business people gauge their business success by measuring the sales and gross profit margin at the same time. Recently, we have hired few management and field staff to cater for new demand. But we noticed that our gross profit margin was dropped due to the inefficiencies that are expected when hiring new people. My management team is working hard on sorting these inefficiencies to recover our GPM. Otherwise, we will simply get into financial troubles. I hope you can see that we can use GPM daily to see where things are at so you can address your business inefficiencies before it's too late. So what gross profit margin should we aim for? Here are some indicative figures. In trades, a good gross profit margin is 37 to 45%. Above that, and you could be overcharging your customers. At 25 to 35%, it's reasonable gross profits, but best to aim to achieve higher. Below 25% would be a struggle, as there will not be enough essence left to pay your fixed expenses like rent, vehicle maintenance, admin cost, and others. If your margin is too high, then you will be at risk of others cutting you off and taking off your business. Not unless if you're good in protecting your high margin business by means of being very specialized or having some sort of patent to protect you from competition. Here is one more example to illustrate the importance of GPM over focusing on making more sales. Let's say that you have hired a capable salesperson and you agreed to pay them a base salary plus percentage of their monthly sales as bonus. This salesperson goes to work, and as expected, he or she will bring you new contracts. But because they are not incentivized on quality of their sales, then they might bring you anything to achieve their monthly targets. You might find your business eventually choking with business with little or no profits. And at the same time, you have to pay your salesperson a handsome amount of money of bonuses on top of their salary. This is a recipe for disaster. You should incentivize your people by the sales they achieved, with a caveat that they must achieve a minimum agreed GPM. Most job management software apps have GPM in their heart of their job reports. You should utilize these simple and affordable apps, or at least use a simple spreadsheet to calculate your GPM on all your jobs. Also calculate the GPM for your crews separately and for your overall business, so you know who's bringing you the money and who is wasting it. I hope that I have illustrated why it's so important to continuously checking your GPM. It is one of the key business issues that makes or breaks the business. You simply cannot afford not to be on the top of it. Having healthy margins leads to prosperity, engaged and motivated team. Also, it means happy family, and ability to pay your team and yourself well. Here's a fun example to illustrate it further. Here are two glasses filled with orange juice. One of them is filled with real squeezed orange juice. You can see the essence on the top of it. It also smells natural. While the other glass is filled with artificial juice, perhaps filled with color and sugar. So how many glasses of the artificial stuff you need to drink to gain the same amount of real juice nutrition? Perhaps you need to drink few glasses. First glance, both glasses looks the same, as the juice level is similar in both of them. The juice level in the glass simulates the sales value, while the essence simulates the GPM. A lot of jobs have similar sales value, but they differ massively in how much essence or nutrition they contain. Hence, it's really not good to judge a business by how much sales it makes. Focus on having a good business that provides you with good essence. Don't get me wrong, sales are great, and you should always have progressive and aggressive plans to increase your sales. But at the same time, you must work hard on improving your GPM, or at least maintain it at a good level. In our next video, we will discuss other important financial factors, especially net profit and net profit margin. Also, the difference between fixed and variable expenses. We will also map all of these financial subjects in the profit and loss statement. We will cover in the video after next other important business non-financial matters like time management, to cover a variety of important business subjects outside finance. If you have any questions or you would like to join Take You There program, then feel free to email me, sam@takeyouthere.co.nz, or visit our website, takeyouthere.co.nz. Also, please click like if you enjoyed this and benefited from this video. Thank you very much.